Hey, what is up today, guys? This is Ronster1082, and I'm bringing you guys some gameplay commentary today, and I don't really know what the gameplay is going to be, but yeah, just enjoy it. It's really not about the gameplay, it's more about the video itself. Alright, so I just watched the E3 press conference of the PS3 or PS4, sorry, and it looks. The concept of the console itself isn't really the greatest look for me personally, but I don't know. I mean, it was alright, and personally I think that the design wasn't the greatest looking design, but apparently it's smaller than what I thought it was. According to the guys after the press conference, they're like, oh yeah, it's really small, this and that, but basically I'll just emphasize what they emphasized if you didn't watch it. $399. Price is going to start at $399. So there is a rumor that they are going to have multiple versions, so kind of like where they have the 120 gigabyte or the 250, I believe. I think it's 250 that they have now, but basically there's gonna be, I believe there's going to be a Vita version. So what that means is it's going to have the PS Vita, which is, I don't know if you guys don't know what it is. It's basically a handheld. Like if you remember what the PSP was a few years ago, it's like, I think the Vita came out last year or the year before, and it wasn't really emphasized very much on the PS3 side, but the Vita apparently was designed for the PS4, or the PS4 was designed with the Vita. Whichever one happened first, I don't know. Probably, I'm guessing the Vita was designed for the PS4, and then the PS4 was designed around those specs of what the Vita was able to do. So the cool thing about the Vita is there's a feature to where you could be, instead of playing, I don't know, say your favorite first-person, I don't want to say like Call of Duty or something like that, but like maybe say The Last of Us, which I won't be on the PS4, but it will be on the PS3. Instead of, say, for the 15, 16, 17-year-olds that are still living at home, if your mom or dad is sitting in the living room and that happens to be where the PS4 is, and you want to be able to play the game that you want to play, and your mom and dad's like, hey, we're going to watch a show tonight. You're like, man, I really wanted to play this game tonight. Well, with the Vita, what you could do, you could start up your Xbox or PS4, and you could take your Vita, like have the game loaded up, take your Vita, sync your Vita with the PS4, take it into your living or bathroom, bedroom, I don't know, dining room, piano room, whatever you have, and be able to actually play the game while you're sitting in your bed. So it's kind of a really cool thing. Like, just think about like the times that you happen to be playing a game and you have to, I don't know, say you have to go do something and you feel like, I mean, maybe 5 minutes from now I'm still going to be over at this place, but I can still play the game, depending on how far the Vita reaches. I mean, if you live in an apartment complex or something, you're going to someone else's apartment, say you have a friend that lives across the apartment way, maybe what you could do is you guys could play the single player. Actually, this is already confirmed in the PS4, but I'm assuming you could probably play the game on the Vita, and you could be sitting at his house earning achievements on your system and being able to hang out with your friend, maybe play the same game, maybe go through certain levels that each of you maybe can't do, help each other out, which this is already a confirmed thing in the PS4s. You could share the game that you're playing and actually have your friend play the game for you on his system, if that makes sense for you. But basically you can have your friend take over your controller virtually, like on his controller, and he play the game for you. Say you can't get past a level or something and you're really frustrated. Like there was a level in, I think it was COD 4, no, Black Ops 1, and I believe maybe World of War, I don't know, there was a level that you had to shoot down like 2 helicopters with 1 rocket or something like that, and it was super hard to get. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know the achievement, and it was very hard to get, and there's only a select few that I know that have got it, and for achievement hunters, this is gonna be crazy. Okay, so think about this. I was thinking about this, and if you're an achievement hunter, this could be a business opportunity. What you could do is say, hey, I will platinum this game for you for $5. Yes, I mean, it depends on what kind of price range you're looking for. Depending on, I mean, it's free money essentially. I mean, you do have to kind of work to be able to beat it, but I mean, $5 for a game that you're playing, especially if you like the game, say like your favorite game ever. You're like, man, I don't have a problem playing this thing, you know, 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times, you get a third of your money back for the game. And I mean, really, you could resell the game and play it 3 or 4 more times on somebody else's system, and you could be, you know, $20, not richer, but I mean, you could have $20 compared to not having $20 and trading the game into 30 and losing $30 whenever you get it, so you only lose $10 instead of the 30. So, and that brings up another point. How's this gonna work? Because if you can, like, essentially take over someone's system, like, is this only going to be for single player games, or is it be for multiplayer games? I mean, I really don't know, because like there's a big difference between if you're trying to play a multiplayer game for someone and you trying to play a single player game for someone. Could you imagine, like, this could happen, is someone allows you to play a certain game that you want to play, which I'm assuming you can't do this with if the other person's playing, obviously, but you could play this game essentially, like, say your friend's like, hey man, you can play my game tonight, that's fine. You could play this game and your buddy's like, hey man, that's cool. You play all night, maybe next day, friend gets on, friend gets off, hey man, can I play that game again? Sure man. I wonder if there's gonna be like a time limit, because like they want to get rid of the game sharing. Everybody knows they want to get rid of the game sharing that you can do on the PS3 right now. But I'm assuming they're probably going to do like a platform that's kind of like the Xbox 360 is right now, to where you have to, essentially, to share to an Xbox, you literally have to have the Xbox sitting there, and you have to have like a I don't know, like a memory card and all kinds of stuff to be able to do it. So it makes it really difficult for you to be able to share it. Essentially, you can only share it with yourself or your really close friend. And I mean, that makes sense, you know. I think that's probably going to be the kind of market they go with. But I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. Also, they didn't really talk much about the Kinect Eye, or whatever you want to call it. Kinect is the Xbox, but the Eye that they were talking, like, they've had pictures of it on Amazon and stuff like that for a long time, but I don't know. Like, they didn't say anything about it in the conference at all. They talked a lot about indie games, which, I mean, there was a couple that looked alright, but I'm just not a huge indie game type of guy. But I'm not really into the older type of games anymore. Like, sure, when I was 15 or 16, it wasn't bad, but it's just I've grown out of it. So with the Vita that I was talking about earlier, I think that the Vita right now, I believe, is like $250. You can tell me in the comments below if it's a little different than that. But I could see the Vita with a, say, bigger hard drive for $600. I've heard rumors that there's gonna be 3 different models, like a $400 or $400, a $400 version, a $500 version, and a $600 version. So that's kind of, you know, $600 is getting up there. But I can't justify saying that I'm guessing the Xbox said they are gonna have a 500 gigabyte hard drive. I didn't watch the conference, so I don't exactly know, but that's what I heard. So if the Xbox has a 500 gigabyte, I'm assuming the PlayStation will have something similar. But then again, they have Gaikai. So Gaikai, if you guys don't know what that is, it's a streaming service, which is another reason that I want to talk about Gaikai, is because So PS3 games, they're not going to be backwards compatible because the processor's different. But Gaikai is going to be able to stream those games over a network. So if you want to buy Call of Duty 4 for the PS4, you can. If you want to buy pretty much any game, like this is the bad part, is the fact that you have to buy the game again. So if you have a physical copy, you have to buy the game again. Hopefully they don't go crazy with it, like, because digitally wise, I don't think a game like Call of Duty 4 should be over $10. But maybe they'll go like the Steam way, and you know, like for example, Civilization 5 and I forget the game now, something Row 3. If you remember the name, I can't remember the name right now. They were like super cheap this week. Normally they're like $40, and they were like maybe 10 or 15, somewhere in that range. And it's a huge sale. And what they do is they get a lot of people, and they give it to people for the weekend for free. So they're like, hey man, try this game out for the weekend. If you like it, you can buy it. And it's a really, really good model. And the reason it's a really good model is because people, once they are not able to play it anymore, sure, you know, they'll wait a week or so. And they're like, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I could pass on it. And then they're like, man, I really want to play that game again. And once they feel like they want to play that game again, they're like, man, I'll go back out there and buy it. But the nice part about the free weekend is it's cheaper. So if you're on the edge of wanting to know if you're going to buy it and it's the weekend still, you'll be like, hey man, it's like 40 to 50% off right now. I can get this super cheap. And what happens is they sell a lot more copies than what they're selling. So what was happening was that the sales for those games are really low. And they end up getting a huge boost for a weekend. And those huge boosts, even though it was at a discounted price, is a very high positive margin that they get out of it. Because it's a digital game, there's no physical copies or anything. All they have to do is send it to you, you download it, and that's about it. You send them the money, and that's really all they have to do is accept the money. There's probably their processing fee that Steam takes out that before they get it to the developers. But I mean, when you go from selling maybe, I don't know, 150 copies in a month to selling 1,000 to hell, it's probably even more than that. It's probably a good, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 in a weekend. You're making a pretty good amount of money in that like short span. And that's the reason they do these like free weekends and stuff. It's just to get people to play the game. Like, people forget about games, especially games, you know, like Civilization. It's a PC only game. Nobody really plays it a whole lot anymore, but people forget about it. And it was a really good game. Like, if you play it on a short-term basis, like a fast mode, it was a good game. I liked it. I played it. I played like 2 or 3 games this weekend while it was on. And I mean, the games last they're a little bit longer than what I'd like, but it's kind of like a historical aspect, and it's kind of nice. So hopefully Gaikai is allowing the system to be able to do that as well. But I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now. I'll have like a part 2 in the future because I'm still not done with this. So I will see you guys later. Peace.